Hey there, my name is Cindy and welcome to Snacks and Stacks. I like to talk about books, TV shows, and movies. Lately, I feel like all my videos have been about books, so if you have a TV show or movie you'd like me to check out, please leave it down below. I feel like I'm gonna be in a TV mode here very soon. Today we're gonna do the Quick to Judge challenge. I wanna thank Chelsea from Libraries and Lattes for tagging me. This looks like a really fun challenge, and it actually works out really well because I have a stack of books that correlate with Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander Heritage Month. And I think that it'll be great to do that with these books. And not only will you get to hear the first paragraph of each of these books, I will also get to pick my next TBR from, or my next read. My next read off of this particular TBR. Yeah. Okay, it's been a long day, so I'm in my squeaky chair. It does like to make noise, but it's very comfortable, which is why I'm in it. Let's go over the books. The first book is a book I've ordered, but it hasn't come yet. It's called No Country for 8-Spot Butterflies by Julian Agwan, and it is a lyric essay. I have found the first paragraph on Google Books, so that's what I will read out loud when I get to that part. And this author is Chamorro, who are the indigenous people of the Mariana Islands, politically divided between the United States territory of Guam and the encompassing Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands in Micronesia, a Commonwealth of the U.S. It's a Pacific Islander. The next book will be World of Wonders by Amy Nezuko-Matado, and she is a Filipino and South Indian author. This is a nonfiction book. It says it's a memoir/nature. So I'll have two kind of memoirs, which defeats my purpose at first because I was trying to do one from each different genre, but this is fine. The next book will be Bronze Drum by Fong Wing. This is a historical fiction. Then I have Ken Liu, The Paper Menagerie and Other Stories. This is speculative fiction and short stories. We Hunt the Flame by Hafsa Faisal. This is a young adult fantasy. And then last we have King of Wrath by Anna Huang. And this is a romance. So I have a pretty good range here. And yeah, let's start reading the first paragraphs. So I'll put the little picture up here somewhere of the covers of each one while I'm reading, so you know which one. I'm gonna not read from the introduction, we'll read from the actual lyric essay itself. The properties of perpetual light. The writers I love most are almost always on a mission to save the world one sentence at a time, to redeem us and to rescue back our righteous minds. These writers risk not only the criticism of their peers, as earnestness is said to ruin art, but also the possibility that their words will be mangled and misunderstood. Still, they offer up their gifts, hoping, as the brilliant Black feminist Audre Lorde had hoped, that their words can close some of the gap between blindness and our better selves. In other words, these writers do language, but they also do battle. I like that. Next is World of Wonders, in praise of fireflies, whale sharks, and other astonishments. My favorite thing about this book is that there's an axolotl, like right up front. The first chapter is called Catalpa Tree. Catalpa speciosa. And this whole page is a paragraph. This is a very long paragraph, so I'm just going to read the first few lines. A catalpa can give 2 brown girls in western Kansas a green umbrella from the sun. Don't get too dark, our mother would remind us as we ambled out into the relentless Midwestern light. Every day after school, the bus dropped me and my younger sister off at Lawrence State Hospital, and every day our classmates stared at us from the bus pulled away. I'd unlock the door to the doctor's quarters with a key tied to my yarn necklace, and we'd go inside, fix ourselves snacks, and finish worksheets on fractions or spelling. We'd wait until our mom called to say we could meet her in the office, a call that meant she was about 10 minutes away from being done for the day. We'd click off the TV and scramble to get our plastic jelly sandals on for the block-long walk to the hospital's administration building. Catalpa trees dotted the wide prairie grounds and watched over us as we made our way to Mom's office. My sister, and I knew not to go anywhere near the fence line of the patient's residence because sometimes they were given basketball privileges outside, behind 3 layers of barbed wire. But occasionally I allowed myself to look at them when I rode my maroon 3-speed bike, and sometimes an inmate would wave as I passed. I ended up reading the whole page. I was like, there's no good place to stop. Okay. That sounds interesting. I like how it's like comparing, or not comparing it to the tree, but like the tree is what kind of brings up the memories. That's pretty cool. I can see how the 2 memoirs are already very different, so I'm glad that's happening. Next will be Bronze Drum. This is a novel of sisters and war. Oh, okay, it's not part of the challenge, but it says, for Vu Di Hua, grandmother I never met, shot by a colonial French pilot. She died holding her 1-year-old son. And there's a picture of her. That is sad and sweet. So there's an introduction, there's a prologue, and then there's part 1. I think we can do the prologue. The introduction sounds like it's more history on what this book is about, which I will read before I actually read the whole thing. But anyways, gather round, children of Chu Dian, and be brave, for even to listen to the story of the Chung sisters is, in these troubled times, a dangerous act. The Han gods are jealous of Viet heroes, and while the Han have ruled Lac Viet for 100 years, our legends threaten to reduce the empire to ashes. To be honest, this is one of the books that I really, really, really want to get to as soon as possible, so I'm really glad that was a pretty strong first paragraph. I also have been wanting to get to this forever. This is a lot of short stories, so this might be something that I read like as I'm reading other stuff. Oh, I read many books at the same time. Preface. We won't read the preface. We're going to start with the first paragraph of the first story. Is this the first story, or is this just... the title is The Bookmaking Habits of Select Species. I'm like, is this the story, or is this just like a FYI? I think it's the story. Okay. Short first paragraph. There is no definitive census of all the intelligent species in the universe. Not only are there perennial arguments about what qualifies as intelligence, but each moment and everywhere civilizations rise and fall, such as the stars are born and die. That's the first paragraph. I don't think it's as gripping as the rest. It sounds very like scientific and informational. So, okay. I've actually read the first chapter of this in another challenge thing that I was doing, but here we go. There's a beautiful map. Okay, the first paragraph is like 2 sentences. I'm gonna read 2 paragraphs. People lived because she killed, and if that meant braving the R's where even the sun was afraid to glimpse, then so be it. On the occasional good day, Zafra bint Iskander mused that she was braver than the sun itself. Most days she couldn't wait until the evernight R's was behind her, and she was firmly rooted in the plains of her caliphate, Dama snow and all. Intriguing, but I'm not sure if I'm ready to read about snow in the summertime. So this is a problem. And let's do King of Wrath. This is the last one. There's a content warning. Okay. The story contains explicit sexual content, profanity, mild violence, and topics that may be sensitive to some readers. Just so you know. Hopefully it's not in the first paragraph. The first paragraph is just dialogue, and it's 2 sentences. The second paragraph is also dialogue, so we're going to read both paragraphs of dialogue. It says, Vivian, I can't believe he's here. He never comes to these things unless it's hosted by a friend. Did you see he bumped Arno Reinhardt down a spot on the Forbes billionaires list? Poor Arnie nearly had a meltdown in the middle of John George's when he found out. That's a very like romance book thing to do, isn't it? So we're gonna be talking about billionaires, which actually is like kind of my favorite. I like reading about rich people because I'm nowhere near that. Okay, so let's rank. We're gonna rankity rank. I will say, not because of substance, but because of setting, this is the lowest because I am not ready to read about snow. The weather here has been like back and forth, but it's not hot enough for me to be like, I want it to be cold. So I'm not ready for that. I found the Paper Menagerie to be very like, the first paragraph of this first story just was talking, it didn't seem very like technical, right? There's no definitive senses. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna put the second to last, just because it just didn't quite grab me, and they're short stories, so I feel like the first paragraph should really be a little bit more. And then I'm gonna put I think King of Wrath next, not because it's bad, but because I only got like that it's a romance book about billionaires from that. And Vivian seems like, oh, I can't believe he's here. Oh, I don't know. I kind of love that drama though. Am I in the mood for drama? I might be. Okay, wait. I take it back. Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna put the No Country for 8-Spot Butterflies because it's mostly about like writers doing battle. So I feel like it's gonna be a very powerful piece. And I think I'm currently reading the Arc of Scythe. And it's kind of heading to like more serious stuff. So I'm wondering, oh my gosh, this is so hard. Chelsea, how did you do this? I don't know. They're all so different. Okay, I'm also gonna be reading The Hunger Games and rereading The Hunger Games and then doing those. Okay. Yes, I'm gonna put the climate one there. And then I'm gonna put romance after climate because I still think it's not that intriguing. So it's between these two. I really, really, one, love how short this is. Two, I just like this idea so much of memoir with nature, and I like that it's not really fair because the first paragraph was so long. I got more from it. I got more from the story. But I also really like the idea. Well, right now, okay, I'm gonna put this a second, and this will be next on my TBR, World of Wonders. Here's why. I am currently, like, after reading The Secret Garden and Earth Abides, I've been kind of like thinking I kind of like all this nature-y type stuff. I've been really enjoying like writing that are talking about settings and changes. So I think I want to do this one next. The size is also very tempting, but I did like that, and I liked hearing about how her mom obviously works for the hospital at a jail. So yeah, so this is my ranking. The in between is the lyric essay. And I'm not sure if this will always be the ranking, but it seems pretty fair. So yeah, I will now tag you, the person who's watching, anyone who's watching that wants to do it. I'm not very good at tagging people. Happy reading, happy snacking, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.